The average household refrigerator runs every minute of every day for 15 to 20 years before it fails. It consumes $80 to $150 of electricity annually. It contains hydrofluorocarbon refrigerant, a compound with a global warming potential 3,000 times greater than carbon dioxide, a compound with a global warming potential 3,000 times greater than carbon dioxide, that leaks, degrades, and requires certified technicians to handle legally. A working alternative exists that uses no electricity for its core cooling function, contains no refrigerant of any kind, and has no compressor to burn out. It was first demonstrated in a laboratory in 1997. GE Research spent $2.2 million developing it between 2012 and 2016. It is installed in approximately 0 residential kitchens on Earth. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why, and what it would take to change that. Subscribe now. We find the solutions the world forgot to use. The discovery that made this refrigerator possible happened in a Berlin laboratory in 1881, and it had nothing to do with food preservation. Emil Warburg, a German physicist whose career spanned thermodynamics, optics, and electromagnetic theory, was investigating the behavior of iron samples inside alternating magnetic fields when he noticed something unexpected. When he applied a magnetic field to a piece of iron, its temperature rose slightly. When he removed the field, the temperature dropped back. The material was heating and cooling in direct response to the presence and absence of magnetism. With no external heat source, no chemical reaction, and no moving parts involved. Warburg documented the phenomenon in Annals of Physics in 1881 and named it the magnetocaloric effect. He had no refrigeration application in mind, he was simply recording what he observed. The scientific community noted Warburg's finding and moved on. For the next 60 years, the magnetocaloric effect was used for one purpose only: achieving ultra-low temperatures in physics laboratories by cycling magnetic fields across paramagnetic salts, a technique called adiabatic demagnetization that allowed researchers to reach temperatures within fractions of a degree of absolute zero. The technology worked at temperatures no conventional refrigerant could touch, but only in specialized laboratory conditions requiring superconducting magnets and equipment costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nobody considered it relevant to a kitchen appliance. Then in 1976, a physicist named William Jauke, who had won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1949 for his work on adiabatic demagnetization, published a retrospective analysis of the magnetocaloric effect across a range of materials at room temperature. His analysis identified gadolinium, a rare earth metal, as exhibiting an anomalously large magnetocaloric response near room temperature, the exact temperature range relevant to food refrigeration. Jauke's paper sat in the literature for 20 years before an engineering team decided to test whether gadolinium's room temperature magnetocaloric response was large enough to build a practical cooling device. In 1997, researchers at Ames Laboratory, a Department of Energy national laboratory in Iowa, and Astronautics Corporation of America built the first room temperature magnetic refrigerator. Their device used rotating permanent magnets to cycle a gadolinium alloy working material through alternating magnetic field states. The gadolinium heated when magnetized and cooled when demagnetized, continuously, repeatedly at room temperature, with no compressor, no refrigerant, and no chemical process of any kind. The device achieved cooling to -3 degrees Celsius in its first operational test. The research team published their results. The Department of Energy funded follow-on work. The technology was real and it worked at the temperatures that matter to anyone storing food. Then the research programs concluded, the funding cycles ended, and the refrigerant industry continued generating billions of dollars annually from the alternative that required their product. The gadolinium alloy sat in the published literature for another 2 decades before a French startup decided to try again. The magnetic refrigerator works through the magnetocaloric effect, the property of certain materials to heat up when exposed to a magnetic field and cool down when that field is removed. The mechanism is precise, repeatable, and requires nothing beyond a rotating magnet and a correctly specified working material. In a conventional refrigerator, a compressor pressurizes a chemical refrigerant, causing it to heat up. That heat is expelled through coils at the back of the unit. The refrigerant then expands and cools, absorbing heat from the refrigerator's interior. The compressor runs continuously, consuming electricity, wearing mechanical components, and maintaining a sealed circuit of hydrofluorocarbon compound that carries a global warming potential 3,000 times greater than carbon dioxide per kilogram released. In a magnetic refrigerator, the working material, a gadolinium alloy or a similar magnetocaloric compound, replaces the chemical refrigerant entirely. A rotating permanent magnet cycles the working material through alternating high field and low field states. In the high field state, the material's magnetic moments align, releasing thermal energy. It heats up. That heat is transferred to a water loop and expelled outside the cooling cavity. In the low field state, the magnetic moments randomize, absorbing thermal energy from the surroundings. It cools down. That cooling is transferred to the refrigerator's interior through the same water loop running in reverse. The cycle repeats continuously as the magnet rotates. No compressor, no refrigerant, no phase change chemistry of any kind. CoolTech Applications, a French engineering company founded in 2010 and backed by the French government's BPI France Investment Agency, built a commercial-scale magnetocaloric demonstrator and published performance results in Applied Physics Letters in 2014. Their device achieved a 15 degrees Celsius temperature span, sufficient for food refrigeration, while operating at 20 to 30% greater energy efficiency than a conventional compressor system of equivalent cooling capacity. The energy consumed by the motor rotating the permanent magnet was measurably lower than the energy consumed by a compressor achieving identical cooling output. The United States Department of Energy's Building Technologies Office, in its 2014 Refrigeration Research Roadmap, confirmed that magnetocaloric refrigeration systems at commercial scale could achieve coefficient of performance values 30 to 50% above the best available compressor technology, using no refrigerant and generating no refrigerant emissions under any failure condition. But does it perform under real conditions in real kitchens across real temperature ranges? In 2015, a consortium of European engineering companies and research institutions, including CoolTech Applications, the Technical University of Denmark, and the German engineering firm AEG, completed a 3-year collaborative project called ProSuite, funded by the European Commission's 7th Framework Program with 4.7 million euros in research grants. The project's final technical report, submitted to the European Commission in 2016, documented magnetocaloric prototype performance across multiple test configurations, confirming sustained cooling capacity of 200 watts at a temperature span of 20 degrees Celsius, sufficient to maintain a standard household refrigerator at 4 degrees Celsius in a 24-degree ambient environment, continuously, without a single gram of refrigerant. In 2019, the Danish company Magnetic Cooling, a spin-out from the Technical University of Denmark's Department of Energy Conversion and Storage, completed testing of a wine cooler prototype incorporating magnetocaloric technology. The device maintained a stable 8 to 12 degrees Celsius interior temperature across 6 months of continuous laboratory operation with no refrigerant charge, no compressor noise, and no vibration. The Technical University of Denmark's published test data confirmed energy consumption 35% below a conventional compressor-based wine cooler of equivalent capacity. Then came 2022, the European Union's F-gas regulation phase-down schedule, which mandated progressive reductions in the availability of hydrofluorocarbon refrigerants across the European market, created a supply shock that sent refrigerant prices to record levels. R410A, the most widely used residential air conditioning and refrigeration refrigerant in Europe, increased in spot market price from roughly 15 euros per kilogram in 2020 to over 120 euros per kilogram by mid-2022, an increase of more than 700% in 24 months. Refrigeration service companies across France, Germany, and the Netherlands reported repair backlogs extending to 8 weeks, as technicians struggled to source refrigerant for routine recharging of existing systems. Households with failed refrigerators waited weeks for repairs that previously took days. The regulatory phase-down had exposed the entire food preservation infrastructure of an advanced economy to a single point of failure. The continued availability of a chemical compound that a magnetic refrigerator eliminates entirely. Emergency inquiries to CoolTech Applications from commercial refrigeration manufacturers, who had previously declined partnership discussions, arrived within months of the price spike. GE Research's magnetocaloric program, which operated between 2012 and 2016 with $2.2 million in Department of Energy co-funding, produced a working prototype demonstrating a 20 degrees Celsius temperature span at a cooling power of 50 watts, modest by household standards but sufficient to confirm the scaling pathway. GE's program concluded when the co-funding cycle ended. The prototype achieved what it set out to prove and generated no commercial product, because no manufacturing partner was prepared to enter a market defined entirely by compressor technology standards. The magnetocaloric systems had no compliance pathway to meet. Every test confirms the same result. Every prototype achieves what the physics predicts. So why does the global refrigerator market continue selling compressor systems containing refrigerants that regulators are simultaneously legislating out of existence? The global refrigerant market was valued at $15.8 billion in 2023. Honeywell International and Chemours, a spin-off from DuPont created specifically to hold DuPont's fluorochemical assets, together control approximately 70% of the global hydrofluorocarbon refrigerant market. Both companies simultaneously hold patents on the HFC refrigerant blends that replaced ozone-depleting chlorofluorocarbons under the Montreal Protocol, and both companies hold patents on the next-generation hydrofluoroolefin refrigerants, positioned to replace HFCs under the Kigali Amendment phase-down schedule. The transition from one patented refrigerant generation to the next is not a disruption to their business model. It is their business model. A refrigeration technology that eliminates the refrigerant category entirely, removes both the current product and every future product from their revenue stream simultaneously. The International Institute of Refrigeration, the Paris-based intergovernmental organization, whose technical committees write the standards and classifications that national refrigeration codes reference, publishes an annual technology roadmap for the global refrigeration industry. Its 2023 roadmap classifies magnetocaloric refrigeration as pre-commercial, citing insufficient demonstration of long-term material durability and cost-competitive manufacturing pathways. The IIR's technical committee membership includes representatives from Honeywell, Chemours, Daikin Industries, and Carrier Global, the four largest manufacturers and suppliers of conventional refrigeration equipment and refrigerants globally. The pre-commercial classification is not a scientific finding. It is a standards committee determination made by organizations whose products the technology replaces. The consequence of that classification is direct and measurable. Residential appliance energy efficiency standards in the United States, governed by the Department of Energy's Appliance Standards Program under 10 CFR Part 430. Test and rate refrigerator efficiency using test procedures written for compressor-based systems. A magnetocaloric refrigerator cannot be rated under the current test procedure, because the procedure has no provision for a system with no compressor energy input to measure. Without a DOE efficiency rating, a magnetocaloric refrigerator cannot be sold through standard retail channels in the United States and cannot qualify for federal tax credits under the Inflation Reduction Act's Energy Efficiency Incentive Program. Denmark's Technical University maintains an active magnetocaloric research program, with published results available through the DTU Orbit Research Database. The European Commission's Horizon Europe program listed magnetocaloric cooling as a funded research priority in its 2023 to 2027 work program. CoolTech Applications remains operational in Strasbourg and has published its technology specifications for commercial licensing inquiries. No one wrote the appliance standards to stop magnetic refrigerators. The standards were written for the technology that existed when they were drafted. The magnetic refrigerator simply arrived after the table was already set. When the European refrigerant supply shock hit in 2022, and households across France and Germany waited 8 weeks for a technician who couldn't source the chemical compound their refrigerator required, a magnetic refrigerator on the same street would have kept running. There is no refrigerant to source, there is no supply chain to disrupt. There is no phase-down schedule that makes the working material illegal to manufacture. The gadolinium alloy cycling through its magnetic field states is indifferent to spot market pricing, regulatory phase-out timelines, and certified technician availability. The conventional refrigerator industry spent $15.8 billion last year, selling a consumable chemical that the same regulators mandating its purchase are simultaneously legislating out of existence. None of that spending went toward telling you that a rotating magnet and a rare earth alloy can keep your food cold without any of it. Emil Warburg documented the magnetocaloric effect in a Berlin laboratory in 1881. The Ames laboratory team proved it worked at room temperature in 1997. CoolTech Applications confirmed commercial-scale performance in 2014. The physics have not changed. The gadolinium is still magnetizing and demagnetizing. The cold is still arriving without a single drop of refrigerant. The question was never whether it works. The question is why we're still asking why we don't use it. This is Off the Meter. Subscribe so you never miss the next solution the world forgot to use.